Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In our previous videos, we have seen some of the important concepts regarding sets, right? So in this video, we will be knowing some more important concepts regarding sets. So as part of that, in this video, we will know how a particular element is present inside of a set or not. So and how we can iterate through this particular set and how we can access the elements from the set by using some kind of a conversions. So let us start this particular video by how we can access, how we can know a particular element is present in a set or not. So in order to explain that, I will take a set here. I am taking set 1. So in this particular set, I am considering some elements, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40. So to make this particular example simple, I am taking this particular 4 elements in a set, right? So if I print this particular set 1 here, and after that if I print this particular type of set 1, so we are getting the set which is in the some order. We know that set does not follow any specific order. Because of that reason, we are getting this 40 at the beginning and 10, 20, 30, because sets are unordered collections, right? So let us go ahead and see a particular element is present in the set or not. So for that, we know membership operator, right? So we have two membership operators. One is in, another one is not in. So by using these two membership operators, we can know a particular element present in the set or not. Let us go ahead and see how that works. I am taking this particular 10 and I wanted to check this particular 10 is present in the set 1 or not. So I am mentioning that if I execute this, we are getting true, because this particular 10 is present in the set 1. Because of that reason, we are getting a boolean value which is nothing but true here. So by this we can able to understand, when we are using this particular in, if the element is present in the set, it will return true, and if it is not present in the set, we will get false. Let's say I am taking this particular 50 and I am checking this particular 50 is in set 1 or not. So if I execute this, we are getting false, because this 50 is not present in the set 1. Because of that reason, we are getting false. So I hope you can able to understand how you can use this particular in operator in order to know a particular element present in the set or not. Let us go ahead and see one more membership operator, which is nothing but not in. So how we can understand this particular not in is that, let's say I am taking this particular same example, which is 10 not in set 1 here. So now if I execute this, it was returning false. Previously, when we execute with 10 in set 1, we are getting true. Here, when we use 10 not in set 1, we are getting false. The reason is because when we are using this particular not in, if the element is not present in the set, we will get true. If the element is present in the set, we will get false. That is what happening here. This particular 10 is present in set 1. As the 10 is present in set 1, when we use not in, we are getting false. Let's say if I give the same example 50 not in set 1, and if I execute this, we are getting true. The reason is because this 50 element does not present in the set 1. As 50 element does not present in the set 1, we are getting true. So I hope you can able to understand how we can use this particular membership operators in and not in order to know a particular element is present in the set or not. When we use in operator, if the element is present in the set, we will get true. If the element does not present in the set, we will get false. So in a similar fashion, in vice versa, when we use not in, if the element does not present in the set, we will get true. If the element do present in the set, we will get false. So I hope you can able to understand that. So let us go ahead and see one more important concept that we can understand, that we need to understand with regarding set, which is nothing but iteration. So previously, when we are discussing some of the ordered collection, let's say list, tuple, and strings, we can access those elements using indexing, and we can iterate those iterables using for loop and while loop, right? So we can iterate this particular set using for loop, and we cannot iterate this particular set using while loop, because when we are iterating using while loop, we used to mention the index, right, to access the elements. But here we cannot access the elements using indexing. We cannot use while loop in order to iterate through this particular set. So, but we can iterate this through this particular set using for loop. Let us go ahead and see how we can iterate this particular set using for loop. So for that reason, in order to make you understand, I will take a for loop for element. So element, I will take the same example that what we have used above, which is nothing but set1 having 10, 20, 30, 40 element in set1 here. And in this particular for loop, what I will be doing, I will just print this particular element. So if I execute this, you can able to see the result. We are getting 40, 10, 20, 30. So set is not added collection. When we are iterating also, we will be getting the same order as when we printed, right? So this is how the set is stored this particular values, and when we are iterating also, we will be getting the similar order, right? So I hope you can able to understand. So in this way, by using this particular for loop, we can able to iterate through this particular set, and we can able to get the elements in the set. So this is the only way that we can access these particular elements, and we can perform any operation that we wanted. So let's say if I wanted to perform the sum of all these values, we can do that. So I am taking a sum here, and I wanted to add each elements when we are iterating, right? So I am adding to set to sum here. So after that, if I print this particular sum, we can able to get the result. So if I execute this, we can able to get the result, which is nothing but 100. So all these elements when we add, we will get 100, right? 10 plus 20, which is 30, 30 plus 30, which is 60, 60 plus 40, which is 100. That is what we are getting. So by using this for loop, we can iterate through set, and we can perform any operations for the elements that we have in the set. So I hope you can able to understand. This is the only way by using this particular for loop, we can able to iterate through set. So I hope you can able to understand why we cannot iterate through while loop, because when we iterate through while loop, we need to use index, and we cannot access the elements using index. We cannot iterate through while loop. So I hope you can able to understand that. So let us go ahead and see one of the method that we have in order to access the elements. So access the elements from set. So we have discussed in our introduction video, we cannot access the elements using indexing from the set, right? So just now also we have discussed we cannot access the elements using indexing from the set. So I will take set here to demonstrate you. I am taking set1, and if I print this particular set1, that is what we have taken previously. So we are getting 40, 10, 20, 30. Let's say if I wanted to access any one of the elements, so let's say I wanted to access this particular 10, for by observing this particular set1 when we are printing, we can know the usual approach we will be following. This particular first element will be started with the 0th index, second element will be from the first index, right? Like this, the indexing will be happen. Let's say if I want to access this particular 10 by mentioning index 1, so we can say by the index approaches what we have learned previously, this particular 10 is present at the index 1, right? So if I execute this, you can able to see an error, set object is not subscriptable, which means that you cannot use this particular index operation for this particular sets. That is what it is telling. Set is not subscriptable. You cannot access the elements from the set by using this particular index approach. So that is what it is telling. So this is it. So we cannot access the elements from the set. So there is one way we can access elements from the set, by converting the set into other iterables. So how we can do is that we can have the elements inside of a set, and we cannot access the elements from the set, right? So what we can do is that by using typecasting, or we can consider type conversion, converting this particular set into other formats, let's say tuple or list, we can able to convert them into tuple or list, and we can able to access the elements from the tuple or set, right? Tuple or list, right? So that is what we can do, and we can access the elements. So let's say I will take the same set1 here, and if I print set1, I am printing to just to know what values we have, right? We have 40, 10, 20, 30. So if we directly convert this particular set, this particular elements will be going directly. So what I will be doing is that I will take this particular list. So when we are discussing list, right? So we have discussed by using this list method, we can pass any iterable, and we can convert that iterable into list format, right? So that is what I am doing now also. Set is considered as iterable, right? So because of that reason, I am passing this particular set 1 and I am taking list set here. So it's just a variable name, I am taking list set. So after that, if I print this particular list set here, we can able to see we are getting the values of 40, 10, 20 and 30. That is how we have in this particular set, right? So if I wanted to access these elements, we can able to access, right? So I'm taking this particular list set here. So I will be using general procedure. We know, right, how we can access the elements from the list. So by using indexing, we can able to access the elements. So when I mention index 0, we can access this particular 40. If I execute this, we can able to get 40. If I wanted to access this particular 20, what we can do? We can mention the list name and we can mention the index. The index is 2 here. So if I execute this, we can able to get 20. So in this way, by converting the set into other data types, we can able to access those elements by using indexing, right? So we have the same set here, and in this particular set, we are having this particular element 40, 10, 20, 30. We may not able to directly access the elements. So by using this particular typecasting, we will be converting this particular set into other formats. I have demonstrated using list and we can able to access, right? So I will show you how we can access by converting to tuple also. Just by mentioning this particular tuple method, we can able to convert this particular set 1 into tuple. So I'm mentioning tuple set here. So after that, if I print tuple set here, we are taking just a variable name, right? So still we can able to get this particular element inside of a tuple, right? So when we have this particular braces, we can consider this as a tuple, right? So by using indexing, we can able to get the elements. Tuple set index, let's say I wanted to access this particular 10. This particular 10 is at the index 1, right? By mentioning index 1, we can able to get the value of 10. So in this way, by converting this particular set into other types such as tuple and list, we can able to access the elements using indexing, right? So one thing you need to observe here is that when we are assigning the values to the set, we are assigning as 10, 20, 30, 40. But when we are getting the values in the list or tuple, we are getting the values 40, 10, 20, 30, which means the insertion order, however we are creating the set order is not preserved, right? So that we know, because sets are unordered collection. When once creating the set, the order, we don't know how the order is stored. And one more thing is, all the duplicates will be removed and it will have only unique values. Because of that reason, we don't know how we can have this particular elements inside of this particular set. So one of the approach that we follow when we are converting this particular set to any other type such as list or tuple, we will be following one more approach here, which is nothing but sorted approach, which means when we are converting this particular set into other types, first we will sort the elements inside of the set and then we will be moving. So then we will be converting. So by doing so, we can know that these particular elements are in the sorted order. And we know, right, set is unordered collection. When we are converting, we don't know how the values will be stored in the set and how we are converting that. But when we are using sorted order, we have some kind of assurance that these elements are in the sorted order. So we can able to convert to convert to list or tuple. We can able to access them by using indexing. So that is what I will be doing now. We will be converting this particular set by sorting order and we will convert that to list or tuple. So let us go ahead and do that. So we have this particular set 1, right? So we have set 1. So what I will be doing is that I will convert this particular set 1. So I will print this particular set 1 here. So when we are printing this particular set 1, we have 40, 10, 20, 30, right? So here I am just mentioning set 1 because of that reason I am having 10, 20, 30, 40. That is how we are assigning, right? So now we have the elements in the order of 40, 10, 20, 30. So now what I wanted to do is that I wanted to first convert these elements into sorted order. Then I wanted to convert the sorted order elements to list or tuple. So that is what I will be doing now. So to convert this particular elements into sorted order, we have one method which is nothing but sorted. So by using sorted, we can sort the elements, right? So I'm calling this. So I'm calling this particular sorted. So I'm passing this particular set1 here. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the result in the list itself after conversion of this particular set1 in the sorted order, right? So I hope you can able to see the result. We are getting the set itself. So let's say if I assign this particular thing to sorted set here. So after that, if I print, so it has got assigned. If I print this particular sorted, I will mention so. If I execute this, after that, if I print sorted set here, we can able to see sorted. Sorry, I need to execute this. I need to execute this one also. So now we can able to see we are getting a list. Inside of the list, we are having the elements in the sorted order. So if you wanted to have the elements in the sorted order, so if you wanted to access the elements, so from now itself you can able to access the elements using indexing, right? So now what I will be doing is that I will mention this particular sorted list, and if I wanted to access any elements from this particular list, I can access using indexing, right? So that is what I will be doing now. Let's say I wanted to access this particular 30, and we have the indexes from 0, 1, 2, right? So I will mention 2 here, and if I execute this, and sorted list is not defined, so I'm keep typing these typos, and if I execute this, we can able to get the result, which is nothing but 30 here. So I hope you can able to understand how we can convert the element, how we can convert the set into other types and access the elements using indexing. So this is one of the widely used approach whenever we are converting set into some other format, let's say list or tuple. So why we do this particular sorted is because we have some kind of assurance the elements are in the sorted order, because set does not follow any specific order. Because of that reason, we first sort the elements so that we can able to know what elements we have and how the elements are ordered, right? So I hope you can able to understand that. So that's it for this video, and we have discussed the membership operator and how we can access, how we can know a particular element present inside of a set or not. After that, we have discussed how we can iterate through this particular set elements by using for loop, and we don't have while loop because we cannot access the elements using indexing, right? So that is what we have discussed. After that, we have discussed how we can access elements from the set using this particular type conversion and using this particular sorted method. So I hope you have found this video interesting. So apart from that, I want to tell you one more thing to you, which means which is nothing but you are the one of the few persons who watched this video till the end, and I hope you have understood all the concepts explained in this video. And I wanted to hear from you, and whatever you feel about this video, comment your feelings in the comment section. Either you feel good, bad, and interesting video, or explanation is good, or need to improve the explanation. Whatever you feel about this video, comment your feelings in the comment section so that I will improve upon. So in the next video, we will be knowing how we can compare these particular sets. So to stay updated with my latest videos, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all, so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.